Hi everyone. I'm gonna have my voice down a little bit today because little Alfie, he's not well. He's fine. He's just got a bit of a temperature, and so he's downstairs with his mum having a cuddle. So I thought while they're downstairs, I'll come up here and I'll do this recording because I've been meaning to do this for the last few weeks. So it's really an update to let you know where we are. Situation, any problems, good things, new things, that kind of scenario. So, production. All the metalwork has arrived for the mini cases. In fact, of the plus cases, I've ordered another 100 plus cases and they're coming next week. So I'm going to be able to ship those out the following week, which would be great because I've got a few people want them. And so they have started picking up again once people realise you can't put an Amiga in the Mini. So that's all good news. The cardboards, you've probably seen the pictures. The cardboard has the main box arrived. I'm still waiting for the inserts, but that's all basically in. The bulk of the part, all the cables are in. All our circuit boards are in. I've got a bucket load of D10 nanos. I'm still waiting for the boards from the Mystics and the Amigas from Edu. He's actually got them pretty much ready, actually, funny enough, but a couple of little things we're doing and there's a couple of bits got to add. So they'll be probably shipping over in a week or two, something like that. But anyway, so I'm still on target. No, the most important point, the plastics, the keyboards, and the power supplies. They will be leaving China next week. There was actually going to be a bit of a delay. I kind of planned for shipping the last week in May, and then they said there was a problem with some of the blacks. The painting hadn't been done correctly, and there'll be a delay. So, oh god. Anyway, so what do you do 2 days later? So they're all ready to go. They're all packed up, ready to go. I'm just sorting out with the shipping agent now to get them on the way. Again, you're talking 6 to 8 weeks. So in theory, they should be here the 2nd or 3rd week of July. So on target for me to start shipping in July. Yes, it'll be the end of July, unless the boat moves really quick. I don't think he's going to get stuck in the Suez Canal, or whichever canal it was. It should be fine. But yeah, so everything's running smoothly. Everything's going okay. You know, the odd little glitch. Right. So some interesting thing I think you might be interested in. First of all, is the manuals are now finished. Samuel Hurdle's done a fantastic job. He's the guy who did the boxes, designed the boxes. He also did the video production for me, and he did the advert that you might have seen in the magazines. But he's also done the manual. Now, basically, I've rewritten the manual. Well, that's not true. Probably the original manual. We've just added another load onto it to cover the Mini, but it's now done. Now it doesn't mean it's a perfect manual, but it's now 150 pages. Thank you, Sam. My version was about 110. I said you can go up to around 150, and he went to 150. But it is worth it. Really got to town on it. Yes, really got to town on this manual. As he said in Jurassic Park, spare no expense, and I really haven't spared any expense. In fact, it's nearly 3 times the price of the original manual that was in the last case, and the reason for that is, well, one thing that was 100 pages, 90 to 100 pages. This is 150 pages, but that had black internals, and this is colour. Okay. All colour. There is a section on the plus section where the pictures are still in black and white. That's because I actually converted them to grey rather than just don't ask. So I haven't got any of those original pictures, so they're in black and white. But all the new pictures are all in colour. The print's in colour. The design is just beautiful. I mean, Sam has really he's done a fantastic job on this. I'm really proud of this manual, so I absolutely love it, and I'm hoping that when you get it, you'll love it as much as we do. Now, it doesn't end there, because they're good quality manuals. They've got a lot of pages. They're all in colour. But when we got the samples back a little while ago, I noticed that the black was scuffing up, and I didn't want that. So we've had the manuals laminated, the covers laminated. And they're a gloss lamination. Now, I know some people go, well, this is that. We tested both. We had the matte, which is this one, and we had a gloss one. We all decided the gloss looked better, but I made the final decision because I think the reality is most people won't realise we've gone to the expense of laminating it, and I want people to realise that actually what we have gone to a lot of expense to get these laminated. And now this rolls into the mastering AmigaOS as well. The covers on there are exactly the same. They as you're probably aware. In fact, if I'll grab it, I think. And plus you can see the reason why I've laminated it. Can you see all the scratch marks? And I mean, it's not really being used. You can see all the black, it's all scratched up. That's nothing against the printers, it's just, so that's why I've gone to the extra expense and laminated it. Now, but also inside these, you see there's a double cover. We've actually got double covers on these. So basically this is, we've got permission to reprint this. But we've reprinted the manuals, and they're being thrown in if you've ordered a complete system. So if you've got the computer, the power supply, the motherboard, the case, that kind of thing, and we'll throw one of these in, because you're getting all the software. It comes with AMOS. Again, we've got permission from Francois to release AMOS Pro, and so it's coming with this manual, so you can dive in and do some programming. But yeah, the lamination is to stop all of this rubbish. Okay, only the outside cover, but it's such a. I've seen one. In fact, Neil's got a couple of them, so he's got them for video he's doing. So I've lost the manual. Right, so that's the manual. That's really important, and we've designed the box with a tray. You probably may have seen these pictures, but there's a tray. As you open the lid up, you see the case, but there's also a tray, and the two manuals are presented in front of you. Really, I tried to up the game from last time, which most people loved the last one, and I think they're going to love this even more. It's just the user experience. I really think it's really important, but I think this manual is going to be very popular. Also, I mentioned it, but it's got a bit of my history in the back, but more important than that, it's got a list of all the original Kickstarter backers for the Plus. It's got a list of all the mini backers for the Kickstarter, and it's also got all my Patreons. Okay, basically it's as long as you have paid $2 or over, which means you did it for the second month and didn't do it 1 month and dropped it. If you've done $2 or more, even if you've stopped it, okay, you should in theory be in the list. Okay, so it's quite a big list. So a lot of the people in there don't donate anymore. Maybe they'll come back. I don't know. But I really appreciate the patrons, and I'll mention that at the end anyway. Right. So there you can see the manuals. Right. Distributions. Okay. So I'm not going to go and demonstrate it. You can see on that machine over there. There is on the Mystics and the Amiga. If you buy them, the Amiga only comes as a pack, but the Mystics can be bought separately as a board. If you buy the whole pack, you get the software. You get Amiga Forever, as you're probably aware, and it's on the list. But I built a distro based on it to make it look really nice, so you can instantly be off and running. The distro has got the software, the games and demos that are on the Amiga Forever pack, so you literally up and running really quick. So that, and also it's on the Amiga Ami Hybrid. There's a version of it on there as well if you want to use that. Although there is obviously AmiKit is the main one on that. But yeah, so hopefully people are going to enjoy that little distribution. It's something to play with. Right, so that's That's it. I'm happy with it as it stands. I'm quite happy with it now. But there's potentially maybe a couple more tweaks and changes coming, but nothing serious because I'm quite happy with the way it is. So, but it's ready for July when it goes out. And I've got like 100 to 200 SD micro SD cards to ship out on. In fact, even to the point. Hang on a second. Oh, that figures. No, hang on. Right, I do believe it's the little things, but even the SD card, I don't know if you can see that. We've had little stickers made. I just wanted to go to town. I think it's Marcus. Is it Marcus? I'm going to get in trouble if I've got his name wrong. We found a great guy. He's on a Facebook group. He's doing the stickers for us from now on. But yeah, it's made some lovely little stickers in there, and it's got the name of the computer you've got, and it's really nice that. The little things. Right, so let's jump into the power supplies. So as you're probably aware, I've been on an absolute. Let me have a quick swig for those who are interested. Have it. For those that are interested, no, I've just said that. I've been on a real journey for these power supplies, and the problem we had was, and I've had a customer today actually come to me about something very similar. Most power supplies are not used, these SFX PC power supplies are not used to having such a small amount of current drawn, and so they get the amp or won't start. So after 4 attempts, I found a manufacturer in China that makes power supplies. And what they've done is custom made is not the correct way of putting this, but they've tweaked their existing design to ensure that it will run at the low ampage that we draw. So you're not going to have any problems with these. You can see they were kind enough also to, let me see if we get a picture, they were kind enough to let me put a logo on it as well with all the voltages and that kind of thing. So that was a real surprise, and I'm really pleased with that, but it kind of transforms it. It's a lovely little black power supply. Now, the interesting thing, the original plan was to have it so that it was silent, because it's going to draw very little current. And so what they did was they put in a temperature sensor circuit in it for me. And so I actually put a video on my Facebook group, and I've actually removed it now, but I put it up there and it was showing how, because it was dead quiet. But what happens is when it gets up to about 30 degrees, the fan starts to come in, which makes sense. But I've got the D10 Nano in there, which does get quite warm when it's busy. It's got a heatsink on it, so it does actually build, and it was warm in the room as well, which didn't help. And it was getting up to 30 degrees, so the fan starts coming. So it's not a silent power supply, but it is, if your temperature's down under say 25, 26, and it's under that, the fan won't kick in, but it starts to come in about that 25, 26, and then it'll gradually ramp up as necessary. I found it stabilised because I've got one of these sensor things, and it's stabilised around 29 degrees, something like that. Anyway, so it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than the ones we had before, where they're really noisy, and even though they weren't drawing any power. But I think it's better to have it on the safe side. That doesn't mean it's noisy. It's not noisy. You have to go like that to hear it. So that's the power supplies, which I'm really pleased with. Some people ask the question, what connectors are on it? Obviously it has I think it's 24-pin ATX block, which goes into one of our little adapter boards. Okay. In fact, actually, it depends on what product you run. It might be on the Mystics, it might be on the Amiga, or it might be on one of these. Depends what you're running. But it also has the 12-volt CPU connector, which you're probably not going to use. But it's also got 2 Molexes and 2 SATA drive connectors, if you need them. The great people say to me, why do we need that? Because we don't draw much power. But then if you put a CD-ROM drive in it, or you want to put an SSD drive in it, you've got these connectors and the power supplies. I mean, it's way overkill, but it's a nice stable power supply. And I got Rob to check it out, and he's not like saying it's the best in the world, but it's a nice stable power supply. And so we're both quite happy based on the price, etc., etc. that we're going to go with this. And I'm very happy with it. I've ordered about 250, so I'm very pleased. So that's the power supplies, and they do look fantastic in the case. They really, really do, and they run beautifully. So it's a good thing to do. You don't have to buy one of my power supplies, but now at least you've got one that you can go, okay, I want that one. It's £39 plus VAT if you're in the UK. But you know that's I'm only having one power supply. I'm not doing the others. It's not meant for PCs. If you want to put something in with like an APU in it, like a 65 watt part, then you should be right with that because it's 200 watts. But it's not meant. Don't even think of putting it in a high-end PC because you don't do that. So that's the power supplies, and I think they look fantastic. To be honest, I'm really pleased with them. Right, SD extenders. Right. So if you've bought, let me have another swig. It's quite warm in here. If you've bought one of my complete systems, this is not when you ordered it. It gave you a list of the things. It gave you a list of things you're going to get with it. Okay, I'm expanding on that for free. So, the reason I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, the reason for doing this. The reality is the Amiga's not so much. The Amiga's actually a very good price, but the Mystics is a little bit expensive. No, it's just a small batch. It's quite an expensive thing to make. So I'm trying to make up for it, and you're going to hear in a minute where we're going from here. So we're going to get one of these. So basically, everyone who's ordered a complete system, we have a little PSU mount support at the back, and it has a way of mounting these things. So assume you know what this is. This goes into the micro SD connector, and this takes one of these actually, into there, and so you can access it from the rear. They're normally about £7 or £8, but I'm throwing them in. So that's one little thing here. I've got 200 of them sitting in the drawer, ready to send out for people with complete systems. If you've ordered the board on its own, no. Or if you've ordered like a Vampire Fit Kit, no. I'm not including for that because there isn't money in it. But people have ordered big systems, then I think it's fair. Now, right. So, if you've ordered the AMI hybrid, if you've ordered one of these systems to go in the case, on your order you saw that you had Cloanto's Amiga Forever. There was also AmiKit, which you've got a license for that. We paid for a license, and we also paid for a license for OS 3.1.4. But on the Amiga and the Mystics, you're only going to get 3.X, I think it is, which was the one on the Cloanto's disc. Now, when I was building the distribution, I kind of thought, you know what, I like some of the features in 3. Well, obviously, there's some nice features in there, specifically when it comes to, because it's got RTG. This is probably the main reason, but because it's got RTG on these FPGA cores now, and you get a fantastic RTG. It's nice to have this functionality. When you change the screen, you test it, and you can make sure it's all working. And I like that built into the OS. And there's a ton of other stuff. We don't actually use big formatted drives. I think they're 4 gigs, something like that, hard files. But it's got PFS file system. We've standardised on that, so they're nice and stable and solid, and they're not going to fall apart, which some of the older file systems are known to do. But also, for example, on AmigaOS it comes with a nice icon set. So let's get to the point. So if you're an AMI hybrid person, you already paid for the license, you're getting it. But because of the cost of the Amigas, and obviously with the Mystics being a little bit on the higher side, I decided that I would include a free license to every Mystics system, complete system with software, and every Amiga. You're both going to get 3.1.4. So that's proper license. You're going to get a license serial number. It's all been paid for, right? You're going to get a license serial number. I'm literally putting it at cost. Well, actually it's not cost. You're not even paying for it. So you're going to get a proper serial number, and you'll get the ROM image, you'll get and the ADS, but it's actually built into a distribution. But you'll get these files as well on your disk, and your serial number will be in your manual. Okay, you'll see there's a page of serial numbers, and it will be stuck in there, and I think that's going to be, people are going to be. Yeah, sorry, camera cut out, restart. So, yes, OS 3.1.4, I think is a nice addition to those. It is a free gift for me, as is this a gift for me. But I really want people to enjoy the experience, get this, and be really pleased they bought this. Now, it's only if you bought a complete system, with the software included, that you're getting that. You obviously not if you didn't, if you just bought bare board. So, that comes up to the next question. What about AmigaOS 3.2? So I've and ahed about this because I honestly didn't expect it was going to come out. I thought it was going to come out like at the end of the year, or once the problems are resolved. And what I don't want is, I don't want people getting the system and in their mind maybe thinking that they paid this money, they didn't get the latest system. But likewise, for most of the people, I'm actually giving it away. I know the AMI Hybrid people it's included in their cost, and their system, to be fair, is quite cheap anyway. But it's not. I can't just swap it over because obviously it's a full pack. But what I am doing is this. I've ordered 50 3.2 CD-ROM packs. So my thinking is this: that if you want to upgrade, or it's not a case of upgrading, because everyone's getting 3.1.4. You're going to get your license, okay? You're going to get those files. It's done, right? Because the distribution is built with it. But if you would like a copy of OS 3.2, I'm going to let you have it literally at what it costs me. Right, actually, I think it's a bit cheap. I'm losing a little bit. I'm not worried about it. I'm losing a little bit of money. But you're going to be, only the people with the software can get this. It's not for anyone else. It's only for people who've already ordered systems with software. So if you've ordered a full Amiga AMI Hybrid, or if you've ordered an Amiga with software, or if you've ordered a Mystics with the software pack, you'll have the option to buy the 3.2 pack. And it's the proper CD pack coming in. You'll have the option to buy it for £20 plus VAT. Now, most of these are going to go abroad, so you're basically getting 3.2 thrown in the pack for 20 quid. I think that's fair, and I think that's the best way I can do this. So it's 20. I like round numbers. £20 a nice round number, and it's not. I paid a bit more than that, but not a lot more. But I don't mind eating a little bit. But again, this is only for those who've already ordered. So if you've ordered, you will. No, this is going to bring us. Let's see, what else have we got here? Let me have a quick look. What's the next bit? Oh yeah. This is kind of important, I suppose. This message is kind of important. Say, for example, you've placed your order for your case, and then you decide, I want that power supply, and a lot of people are doing this. Or you want the OS 3.2 pack, or you want a few other bits and pieces just at the last minute. Well, do me a favour, don't leave it too late, obviously, but once you realise if there's anything else you want, place another order. This is only if you've already paid. Place another order. Do not pay for it, okay? Contact me, let me know that you've added another order, and I'll either mark it as collect, or I'll give you a discount on the shipping. It depends where it is, because it's the way the system works. So, but if you're ordering lots of big stuff, I'll give you a little bit of a discount on the shipping, because it's still, my shipping costs are going to go up. But I'll have a look at what you're ordering. so you're not going to pay my normal, because my shipping fees on small things is not cheap. I can't help that. It's meant for cases, and that's just, unfortunately, that's the way it works. It was priced up for cases, and so. But if you do want to do that and you do want to put more, don't pay for the shipping. Contact me by email or put a message on it on the order, and saying you've got, but try not to do 4 or 5 more orders. Try and just do one, because I've got some people got 3 orders and I've got to trawl through the order system. But if you do want some extras, and especially like the 3.2, then add an order, create it, and don't pay for it. Contact me. I'll mark on it either a discount or turn the shipping off. One of the two, depending on how it works. And then, well, the reason for the problem is if I mark it as shipped outside of the country, which a lot of this is going to, or if I mark it as being collected from me, that means it's liable to VAT for the UK. That's the problem. So it may end up, that's why I maybe discount it. I don't know. We'll see. But it's a very tricky one for me, this one. But because I'm packaging them, I know I'm packaging them all up and shipping everything out. I know. So I might tweak the software a bit so that if you do that, no one collects. Everything gets shipped, but I'll know it's part of a batch of order. So do that. Just don't pay it straight away. Well, if you want to, give me the money. Great. Right. So yeah, 3.2. If you want that, it's £20 plus VAT if you're in the UK. But I don't think you ain't getting a deal like that. And you'll keep your 3.1.4. Going forward in the future, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. We've got to work out, because you don't need 3.2. But what I didn't want was people feeling like I've got an old operating system, alright? Which I don't look at it that way, because it's just timing. It would have been July. But unfortunately there isn't. Also, I think the other thing is I'm not 100% sure. I don't think you can upgrade from 3.14 to 3.2. Now I will say, on the subject of versions, and I'll reiterate this, you're probably aware that on the thing it was saying version for Cloanto's Amiga Forever, it was version 8 originally, and it's now version 9. Well, Mike has been an absolute star. He sent me all new version 9 discs and all new version 9 wraps, so you will get version 9. Okay, so I think that was fantastic of Mike, and he gets a bit of grief and it annoys me, but he's a stand-up guy. Okay, he didn't have to do it. Didn't have to. I offered to pay for them. He didn't want the money. That's just the way it is. Now, likewise, when it came to Hyperion, you're probably going to think I'm going to turn around and say something nasty. Well, I'm not. I did contact them, obviously, because I knew that it was coming. And in fact, when I ordered the last batch of 3.14s, Tim mentioned that they may be coming soon, and do you still want to order? And I said, no, I still want to order, because I didn't think it would. I thought it'd be at the end of the year. I thought maybe for Christmas or something like that. But it did come out. Now, Tim's not there, unfortunately, anymore, so been in touch with Ben. And I know a lot of people, have that, but comments about Ben. He did offer to refund all the money on the 314s. I got to be honest. He said he can't give me the 3.2 versions of what I paid for. But he offered that he would refund. I know it's 190 licenses I bought. It's quite a lot, and he offered to refund them. So that is much appreciated. And I didn't. And in the end, because of the generosity of the offer, I decided no, I'll keep them. And I said, look, I'd want to buy 50 CDs. I'm hoping 50 is going to be enough. I've got a whole feeling there's about 100 people, so it may be that I have to order a few more, but I'll honour the £20 before the shipment. So if you order between now and July when I start shipping, I'll honour this, okay, regardless. But I can just buy some more in if I need some. I don't think everyone's going to bother, because to be honest, it's don't get me wrong, it's lovely, but I think 3.14 is great, and it's got all the things that I kind of like, especially for my little distro. But if you want it, the offer's there. But yeah, so both Hyperion and Cloanto were pretty stand up in this, and you know, a lot of people say some pretty outrageous things, and I've no doubt there's probably in some instances there's a little bit of merit in the fact this has gone on forever. I mean, but you know, they need to they'll sort this out at some point, hopefully. But yeah, so I credit where it's due. They both acted very honourably, because I did buy an awful lot of licenses. I spent thousands on it, because I believe in supporting the classic AmigaOS, and I think that's really important. I know there's a lot of people say, well, why don't you just put AROS on it, and then they'll have a go at me, but then they should look in the AROS About section, you'll see me in it. I'm a massive fan of AROS, but I do think that with 16K, I think you need to, if you want to build a system, you need to offer the operating system and support the developers who are working on that. And you know, the AROS developers, if you think I haven't done anything, fine. The AROS guys know what I'm not been quite lately, but it will be changing soon. But yeah, once we start really moving. So yeah, that's that. Waffle. What's next? Right. Okay. Next thing. So last week. Pre-ordering. Right. When I did the last 1500 plus, I made a promise that I won't take any orders until I've shipped all the others, and I stuck to that. The problem was a lot of people dragged their feet, and it took a little while to get to the end, and there's no blame, I still appreciate the order, but I'm trying to turn this now into a proper business if I can. It's not, I can't at the moment, I can't do it full time yet. I have dropped to 3 days a week for my day job now, so now I have 2 days on the cases, but I needed to this time do things differently. So what I've done is I contacted everybody, and everybody's made aware that end of May, which is today, if you haven't completed your order on my site, and you've not, because what happens is when you complete your order and pay for the order, you get an invoice number, and that is your position in the queue. Okay, now I've hidden the ordering for the mini cases. No one else can order mini cases yet, and I'm on target to ship it at the end of July as planned, but this time I'm doing things differently. So what I'm doing is this: there's about 30 people who have not completed their order and have not got their invoice number and their place in the queue. So in the next day or two, I will be going through those that haven't done that. If you want to jump in and get your place, that's great. If not, I'm going to manually give these people an invoice number in order of when they ordered the cases. I think it's the only fair way to do it. That way their place in the queue is guaranteed. Now if I get to their number and they haven't paid the shipping, it doesn't go. Okay. Now, why does this really matter? Because around the 14th of June, I'm opening up pre-orders for the mini cases, so that if you've been waiting to get hold of one, you will be able to pre-order. Now, you won't be getting it until you'll be at the back of the queue, right? Now, I've ordered 400 cases, metal cases. I've actually got 1,000 sets of plastics, but I've got 400 cases. And those 400 cases, there's 330-ish, 335 have already been purchased by Kickstarter backers. And as long as they paid their shipping, they're all going to go out in invoice number and they all get shipped out. However, when I get to the end of that lot, when I've got to the end of all the backers that have paid their shipping, then I'll start going into the next, because there's about 60 left. Anyone who's not paid for their Kickstarter case, let's be very clear about this, I'll be boxing it up, because the other thing is you can't change colour, so I'll be boxing it up and I'll be sticking it to one side and it'll be safe. Okay, your case will be sitting there. Now, it might not be the colour you wanted to change your mind to, right? But you know, it will be there. Now if you decide, oh, I didn't want that colour, I want to change it, you might have to wait till the next batch. So get in there now and do it. Right, so then I'm going to plan is hopefully we'll sell 50 or 60 pretty quick of this batch. That's what's left. And if it looks like they are already going, I'll order another 200 sets of metalwork. And then they should arrive just as I'm finishing shipping out the existing lot. So I'm trying to roll this so that I can actually, because the problem I got is this, that I've got a very expensive office, cost me £7 grand a year, and it's quite a lot of money, and so I you know, obviously got to try and turn it into a bit of a business. So I'm not doing it full time yet, so I'm quite lucky in that regard, but I'm still doing that. Now let's come back to another subject then, which was originally I said on Neil's the RMC channel, that once the 1500 cases of plastics were gone, I was going to stop making them. Well, I was hoping that they would all sell, and then I can just shut up shop and close down. That didn't happen. They kind of carried on, you know, not trickling, but they moving slowly. But I have to make commitments to offices. So what I've done now, I've ordered 200. I've got 45 white plastic sets for the Plus, and I've got 138 black sets, so we know which one's the most popular. Now I've ordered 200 more white plastics, so I can continue selling them for a little bit longer to contribute to the cost of the office. It's the only way I can make this thing keep going. So I'm backing out on that one, because financially I'll end up dropping myself in it. And people are still buying them, people still like them. So, right, so that's the pre-ordering. So if you're on the Kickstarter list, you need to please go in and sort your colour out and sort your ordering out. Okay. Now, if you've just ordered one, it's pretty straightforward. But if you ordered two, I'm going to send one of each colour, and you might want both black or both white. But you know, if you know, please do it. You've had months. So anyway, so that'll be what's happening there. So I'm hoping to sell a load more. Right, how long am I going to be talking for? 38 minutes, Jesus. Okay. If you are a fan of RMC, then the RMC channel, he's going to have an interesting video coming out soonish. So if you are thinking I might like a mini case, I'd watch out for the next week or I think it's sometime in the next week it may be coming out, but the next video, the one after, something like that, he's got a nice little not an unboxing or anything like that, but a preview, and so he's, you know, it'd be an interesting video if you'd see. So if you're thinking about it, and you can also see I've given him the latest manuals, the really nice manuals, so hopefully he's gonna be really pleased with them. Yeah, so give that a watch, and if what I have suggested to him, I'm not sure if he's actually going to do it, but is to put, because I'm not going to open publicly the orders for the mini until about the 14th, then I'll open them up on my public site, but it's actually a hidden order, it's an actual hidden page, and so I'm probably going to give him the links, well, I have given him the links to them, the secret ones to release. So if you want to watch his video, and then you can just click on the link and order. So I've got to do some changes to the software as well, because at the moment only backers can, if you manage to sneak through, only a backer can have one, but that will be released soon, and once I've sorted out this invoice number for my existing backers, because do want to look after them. But yeah, so that'd be worth watching. What else? Oh, I didn't know. I could have shown you. I might have shown you that before, but they sent me some plastics over. But the front plastic, the black one, is a test sample. But they glossed them. Oh my God, it was horrible. It's stuck up there on the wall. I would show you, but I don't want to scare you. So we had to change. No, that's wrong. Yeah, but so once again, thanks to my Kickstarter backers for the plus and for the new case. I really do appreciate it, especially those who've bought a load of extras again. Mystics, nearly all gone. I'm going to hold 5 in stock. I think there's 2 or 3 left. It's probably too late. But I'm going to hold 4 or 5 in stock. One's going to be mine. But purely so that I've got, in case we have any problems, because that's, for now, that's it. There's no more Mystics boards ordered. Okay? We sold them out, they're all gone. And we're going to see, once I start shipping these out, we're going to decide what we're going to do in the future. If there's, because it's the prices, pricing. The Amigas, interestingly, the Amigas, we've sold 26, 27. So there's about another 20, just over 20 of those. If you want one, they're a great board. I still think it's my favourite. But the Mystics does make more sense for most people. But yeah, so thanks to all my Kickstarter backers, old ones and new ones. But really big thanks to my patrons. As you probably I've already said, I think your names are in the manual, because what people don't understand is that having that money come in allows me to buy stuff. Yeah, so I can buy bits and pieces. I can experiment. I don't have to worry about, I'd like to do this idea, but this money comes in. I can just go, I've got this money that comes in. I can just spend it, and it's absolutely fantastic getting that. And there is something I'm working on. In fact, 2 things I'm working on. And it's because of my backers that I'm able to do it. And there's this project, which I'm not telling you anything about it, but it is quite expensive to develop. So my Patreon backers are really paying for this. So I can't stress enough how important they are. And if this project, if I get to a certain stage in the next 2 or 3 months and I think it's viable, then I'll start talking about it like I did with the Plus case, and we'll start discussing it then. But at the moment, I'm not. So thanks to you all. Am I trying to hold this out for 45 minutes? Anyway, I hope that's answered your questions. We will start shipping the end of July as planned, and hopefully lots of people are going to want to jump on and buy the next batch. As I said, there's going to be 60 spare cases, so you can jump in there quick once the links are available. And if we have a flood, I'll know pretty quick. If we're 30 or 40, just go really quick. I'll order 200 more cases, and we'll just get it, because they take 10 to 12 weeks to turn up, and so it'll give me time. This is why I want to just pre-ordering, because if I find out in June that actually it's going really well, I'll order the 200, so that when I've almost run out of the initial Kickstarter cases, these will come in, and so it'll be seamless, rather than last time when I had like a 12-week wait. Trying to make it a little bit smoother, without the bumps. Be professional. Having said that, I moved offices. The new office is nearly full. In fact, when the rest of the stock arrives, it's going to be rammed. So I may have to expand again to another office, maybe turn it into a day job. that's it. Thanks so much, and talk to you soon. Bye.